Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we are doing what does your subconscious want to tell you. And to do this reading we are going to be picking 3 piles together. So how about we shuffle and then we pick the first 3 up top. So what does your subconscious want to tell you? Let's see what we have. 1, I actually feel this one because it's sticking out, so I'm going to take it. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So for pile number 1, we have smoke. Let me adjust that so you can see it. There we go. We have smoke. For pile number 2, we have sublimation. And for pile number 3, we have the Androgyne. Now, if you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the blue calcite, and there we go. Yep. This is what your crystal looks like. For pile number 2, we have the Lapis Lazuli, and this is what your crystal looks like. And for pile number 3, we have the blue agate. And this is what your crystal looks like. So, take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. And as I always encourage you, listen to your intuition, whether it's drawing you to just one pile and you know that's the one for today's reading, or maybe you're drawn to several piles and you feel like they're both calling to you, one maybe perhaps more than the other, or maybe you're drawn to all of the piles. And in that case, the 3 piles will be your reading for today. Whatever your intuition is calling for you, listen to it, let it guide the way. It is your magic that always guides you to the right reading. So let it flow, give it a chance to listen to it, to train it, to train yourself to hear what it's trying to say to you. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, welcome to your shuffling and card picking process. Today we're preparing your piles for the reading, what does your subconscious want to tell you? We're going to start preparing. Thank you so much for being part of this preparation process as we prepare for your reading. And before we begin, let me introduce your cards to you. On the left are the Oracle decks, and on the right are the tarot decks that we will be using for your reading today. And if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, you'll find that I list them down in the description box for you to check them out whenever you're called to a certain deck. Okay, so now let's start shuffling with intention. This one. And we want to know, what does your subconscious want to tell you? I feel this one, so I'm gonna take this one. So what does your subconscious want to tell you? Okay. Pick up the next deck. What does, there we go, your subconscious want to tell you? Pick up the next deck. We kindly want to know, what does your subconscious want to tell you? There we go. Okay. Let's now pick up your tarot cards. And we want to pick 2 cards for each pile. We'll be taking 2 cards from each tarot deck, as we usually do. And we want to kindly know, what does your subconscious want to let you know? 1, and 2. There we go. 1 and 2. Okay, let's pick up the next deck and shuffle with intention. What does your subconscious want to tell you? What does your subconscious want to tell you? There we go. All right. What does your subconscious want to tell you? Right, so your 3 piles are now ready. Let's put them together neatly for your reading. There we go. So that's pile number 1 with the blue calcite. That's pile number 2. Let's do these first because they're kind of like slippery. So that's pile number 2. Oh. There we go. With the Lapis Lazuli. And pile number 3. with the blue agate. So, your 3 piles are now ready. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It means so much to me. I love your energies. Love you guys. And let's get straight into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the blue calcite as well as smoke. So interesting, you know, having this card with the subconscious. Let's see what your subconscious has for you today. What does it want to relate to you? To do this reading, we're going to start off with your oracle cards. So you have like a bird. Okay. You have energy. Okay. You also have on one side content and on the other displeasure. Really, really cool. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards so that we get a full picture of what your message is. So you have the moon card, obviously with the subconscious mind. Wow. Okay, so you have the moon card. You have 6 of cups with pleasure. You have this is the, in this card, this is the justice card, although it's 8, but in this deck and previous decks, the justice card was 8. It was the other way around. So this is the justice card. Kind of looks like a tower within the justice card, doesn't it? You have the Knight of Wands. You have the Page of Cups, and as you can see in this card, we have the light attribute to this card, and we have the shadow attribute to this card. And we will be putting both aspects into consideration in your reading. Again, with the Justice card one more time. That's the light attribute, and that's the shadow attribute. I kind of feel like someone has given up on this whole thing. Okay. No, you cannot see it here, so let's keep it right there. You have, this is the before tarot, so these are the scenes depicting what it looked like before the Rider-Waite-Smith scene. So that's right before, the moment right before the 6 of Pentacles. And this is the moment right before the Star cards. Right. So let's now take a closer look at what your subconscious mind wants to relate to. The first thing I'm noticing are these, the hearts and the spades running. That's the first time I've noticed this, where they're running and there's a little knight down there on an insect trying to bring them down. So first, let's take a look at the Justice card. The Justice card shows someone who's tired, lost their balance. And the reason I say lost their balance is because this reminds me of a Tower card. It feels like someone may fall at any second. So there's lack of balance emotionally. And I say emotionally because I see energy here. And the Knight of Wands looks like it's sleeping. It lacks energy. There's sadness in this Knight of Wands. You know, usually we see the Knight of Wands charging forward. It's the fastest knight in the deck. And it's supposed to have quick energy, strength, you know, absolutely motivated to go and move forward. But we see this Knight of Wands very tired, very demotivated, and perhaps really sad as well. And with this sadness, it echoes in this card with displeasure. And so we're seeing your subconscious mind here talking to you about your happiness versus your sadness, because we have with content also the Six of Cups, and this is a Thoth deck, that's why it's labeled with pleasure. So we can clearly see the dichotomy in energy here between sadness and happiness. And so this reading is clearly showing us that your subconscious is trying to talk to you about your current sadness and how to bring yourself out of because shadow with the Page of Cups is also sadness. Do you see that? Dissatisfaction emotionally, as opposed to be feeling very happy and satisfied. So we've established the theme that your subconscious mind wants us to have a look at. The other thing that is very striking in your reading is the illusion, because you were drawn to the smoke. And so the smoke really shows an illusion, thinking of, smoke and mirrors, thinking we understand something well, thinking we know how it's working, but maybe it's an illusion, maybe it's not real. And it's the same thing with this bird, because it says like a bird, and unbelievable. I just saw kind of like a mini documentary this month, talking about something super interesting, and I think I perhaps saw it so that I understand what this card wants to say. And the documentary was saying that it's very rare in nature to find animals or insects that are blue. There are some that are actually blue, but all the blue butterflies that we're seeing, and even the blue and the peacock and bluebirds, they're not really blue. It was really surprising for me to see that. It was an illusion. And so that's the common factor here. And the scientists zoomed in and showed us that it was really a game of refraction. The skin or the feathers, depending on what we're looking at, is lined up in such a way where light would enter it, except for the blue color that would refract off of the surface, and so thus making us see the animal or the insect blue. But really, blue pigment is very rare on the animals and the insects that we have on Earth. So again, we're seeing the idea of illusion. Right. What is the illusion here? The illusion seems to be leading us to the subconscious mind straight away, and the moon is a card of, you guessed it, illusion. Subconscious mind and illusion. And so with the it's not a scorpion, it's a lobster, but anyways, regardless of the detail, this is showing us that there are ideas that lurk out of the subconscious, and that's why this is your message from your subconscious mind. Ideas that lure out of your out of your subconscious, that are causing, because the dogs are now barking, are causing this disruption in how you feel, causing you to feel triggered and sad. It's so sad, in fact, that you sometimes feel out of pleasure or displeasure, and causing you to feel lack of motivation and lack of energy to do anything. Things start to feel very heavy, very sad, and there's a general lack of dissatisfaction. We have Kof, the Hebrew letter Kof, which is in Thoth associated with the moon card. And Kof means either ear or back of the head. So again, with back of the head, I'm thinking subconscious, of course. But with the ear, it's like you're listening subconsciously without knowing to these vibrations and these ideas that out of the blue attack or disrupt, rather, not attack, disrupt the flow. And attack here is what we're seeing in this picture. They attack little ideas that could be the cause for this imbalance. They feed you little ideas that are causing this disruption of balance. And then all of a sudden you find yourself lacking energy, feeling the lack of pleasure, and thinking that perhaps something bad may happen. You could speculate, start to feel like maybe the outside world isn't good, perhaps blaming it on other things. And that's where the smoke comes in. Thinking, oh, it must be these problems in my life, or it must be this thing that I'm afraid of, or this exam that's coming, or this person that I don't like, or that I can't do anything about this and that in my life. And you start with the smoke here, finding reasons for this dissatisfaction, for this lack of motivation, because when you don't give your brain the information it needs, it starts filling it up for itself. And that's why there is the illusion. Your subconscious mind's message to you is that it's nothing due to your outside world at all. And in fact, with the same things happening in your inside world, once you heal that, you're not going to be feeling the same way at all. And your energy will be rising. You will start feeling balanced and you will feel content. Now that we gotten deep down into what's going on, let's find out the cause of these thoughts first, and how to heal it. Since you have the star card, this means your subconscious mind brings within this message a message of healing. You can definitely heal this. This is what your subconscious mind is saying. You have the Six of Pentacles showing that you can bring things into balance. Since this is very clearly shown here for you, let's take a deep dive into exactly what needs to be done here. See, the smoke shows that there's fire, right? It's alert. It's alerting us to something. And so knowing that the discontent or the displeasure that you feel is a result of some fire. That's why there is smoke. It's also smoke alerts the senses, right? So the way to heal this, I see, is to be alert in the first place, that it's not due to outside circumstances, but rather the knowing, the diagnosis, to know that perhaps this has become a pattern. Yes, this has become a pattern. To know that this has become a pattern and to release these emotions. Just like the bird and the wings on this figure, let it fly, let it go. The second you stop putting it on other things in life and know that this has become a pattern, you are now in control. Now you can say, I'm not taking it any longer. And I will mention a book that has helped so many people that I know. It's an amazing book by Dr. Caroline Leaf, who has worked with a team of neuroscientists for 20 years. And the summary of the book, I'll let you read it for yourself. The summary of the book is that she teaches us, yes, it is in our hands to push these thoughts out of the way. Yes, we can become aware of them, know that they happen, but then we are in control of training our mind to say, no, I will not accept them any longer. And the more we train our brains to do that, the stronger we become. I'll leave her book down in the description box if you want to check it out. She doesn't know I exist. I just really believe in her book and I recommend it. Her name is Dr. Caroline Leaf and the book is called Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess. And so as a summary, even if you don't want to get the book, she explains that it is absolutely in our hands to retrain our neurological pathways, retrain it to think in a different way, thus releasing different emotions. So that's really the kind of thing that I'm seeing here, that it's in your hand. You see, this hand is like pulling a plug to turn on the light and pulling it off to close it. And so here we see that it's in your hand to start training your mind, to push away these thoughts, to know that it's just a program that has been going on that you can rewire and rechange. And so that star card takes us back to knowing that you can absolutely heal this and bring things into balance. See, the Six of Pentacles is what you put in, you get out. And so this is telling me the more you put this training of saying every time it comes, it's okay if it comes back. Say, okay, that's fine. I'm not accepting it any longer. I'm going to push it out. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I know that this is a program and I'm going to push it gently every time. And the more you do it, the more your muscle grows, your mental muscle grows, and the more you learn to heal it and become in control of how you think and feel. And so with the Six of Pentacles back and forth, it's going back at it again and again. You know, forming habits differs really for everyone, as I've read in this book. Some people, it's in a matter of days. Some people, in 2-3 weeks. Others may take 2-3 months. But at the end of the day, when you train it, you are getting better and better every day. And you are in control. And yes, you are capable of doing that. I'll let you read the book if you want. But that's the kind of idea that I'm getting here in your reading, that it's all really smoke and mirrors. It's nothing that has to do with the outside world. Are there things to worry about in the outside world? Perhaps, yes. But it should not aggravate and cause that type of displeasure that I see in the cards here. And that I see in your reading, that no matter what happens, you are always in control. Always in balance if you choose to. And you know, life has ebbs and flows, and dealing it from that mindset, there is this bracket of feeling bad and feeling good. But when it gets to the extreme, this is when we always need to go back into balance, retrain our mind to go back into balance. And at the end of the day, I really see your subconscious showing you that you can heal, you can get into this strong balance, and you will have so much energy and feel so much happiness once you get into that type of flow. And this is exactly what I see in your reading of what your subconscious wants to say to you today. I hope you've enjoyed it, my dear pal number one. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pal number one. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And by the way, some of you are waiting. We've just released the productivity cookbook, so you can cook healthy, delicious meals in minutes and enjoy the rest of the day doing the important things to you. And my dear pal number one, thank you so much for tuning in. It was such a pleasure, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Sublimation card as well as the Lapis Lazuli. Let's see how this fits into your reading and we're taking a look at what your subconscious mind wants to tell you today. What message does it have for you? We'll be taking a look at your oracle cards first. Ooh, interesting. Oh my God. This looks like sublimation, doesn't it? Wow. This is definitely talking about something significant here. So you have new directions. You have sweetness. So sweet. Okay. And you have on one side responsible and on the other side unreliable. Okay, let's keep it there. And let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have, you know, the hat reminds me of what you put on your head. So it's probably like your thoughts. You have the Two of Cups with love. You have the Queen of Cups. You have the Queen of Swords. Wow, you have the Star card. Again, signifying that you're gonna heal something. Okay, your subconscious wants to show you something that you will heal. And we see love here coming up twice. Perhaps your subconscious mind is talking to us about something that you love. Oh, I have an idea here, but wait. You have the Hierophant, and with the Hierophant we have the light side and the shadow side. Again, with the King of Pentacles, we have the light side and we have the shadow side, and we'll be keeping both into consideration in this reading. These two are the after tarot, so these depict, before tarot, they depict the scenes moment to the scenes in the Rider-Waite-Smith. So that's before this regular Rider-Waite-Smith scene, moments before it, with the King of Swords, and this is moments before the Ace of Pentacles regular scene. It's like the universe is giving it to the 3D for it to give it to you, something like that. Anyways, let's take a closer look at what your subconscious mind wants to tell you. You know, right off the bat, with this dandelion looking like sublimation, this is reminding me of something hitting off very quickly. Like, for example, not for example. First, let me tell you, you know, sublimation is when solid goes directly into gas, turns directly into gas and doesn't go through the regular states of from solid, liquid to gas, like ice. When it melts, it goes from solid to liquid, and then you heat it and it goes into gas. Some things sublimate, like, for example, carbon ice. They bring carbon dioxide and they pressure it at a very, very low temperature, and it becomes solid. And so when you heat it up, it doesn't turn into liquid. It goes directly into carbon dioxide gas. And if you watch sublimation, you'll see that it creates plumes of CO2 that rises really quickly with large amounts, and it fills up the room, it fills it with this smoke, and then it dissipates. So right away, I'm getting this idea that there's sudden surges of emotions that happen. This could be a trigger or an instant reaction that, with responsible and unreliable, it could be initially out of your hands. So your subconscious is talking to us about a surge of reactions, a certain reaction that surges emotions that may seem that it's out of your hands, but you see that it's like your subconscious is giving it back into your, bringing matters into your own hands. Do you see it? It's giving it to your hand. It's showing you how you can take control of that situation. Again, we see the Queen of Cups holding it in her hands. Queen of Swords, Hierophant. We see a lot of hands with the Two of Cups as well. It's like your subconscious mind keeps repeating here that although it looks like it's out of hand, it really is in your hand. Let's explore how this is in your hand and what type of trigger that is. What's out of hand here? Hierophant, the first thing I'm noticing is this is a trigger by a person that could have been in your life, some sort of authority figure. It could have been due to a teacher, a parent, an older sibling, an older neighbor. You know, there was a figure who had some sort of power, and it seems like they were harsh. Do you see this Queen of Swords? It could be doing something that may be considered very weird, you know? Harsh. So your subconscious mind is saying this is absolutely healable, and is definitely talking about an authoritative type of figure in your life that may not have been stable at all. This figure had shadow. And so with all this love that we see here, your subconscious mind is saying this is in your hand. You can heal it with the Queen of Cups, which is very opposite to the energy that we see in this Queen of Swords. So in fact, it is so healable that this is one of the few cards where the Hierophant is taking up most, the light Hierophant is taking up most of the card, and where we see a small part is only given to the shadow Hierophant. So this is definitely healable. And I see a goose here on the heart and on the head. And you know, the goose is a symbol, especially with the Celts, of protection. In fact, there was a goddess, a Celt goddess, that had a goose wings for protection, as a symbol of protection. Her name was Skaha, and she is the goddess of the art of war, healing, and magic. So that's very significant. Anyways, we have the goose on the heart chakra and on the crown chakra, showing protection around the heart and the mind. Your subconscious mind is leading us to think of the heart chakra and the mind, also the movement with the legs. And this is saying, with the responsible here, that you have control over the initial, when the plumes happen, the initial strong emotional reaction that happens when a certain situation occurs. Like, for example, talking to a figure that you're not comfortable with, or someone that you are not comfortable in dealing with, or a situation you're not comfortable in dealing with. Although it looks with all of these plumes that you cannot see, if you react suddenly to it, you won't be able to see, and you may feel like it's out of control then, and it's not in your hands. Although if you wait, we see that the smoke dissipates, right? The air is clear and it's back. So I'm seeing this message here of holding off action, holding off emotion, holding off getting these thoughts, letting these thoughts rise, because most of it is not true. Unreliable here says you cannot rely on the instant thoughts and emotions that surge all of a sudden, because they come from a place that from a place in the past of someone who has triggered these emotions. And so I see a very interesting strategy here from your subconscious mind. I see, just like the plumes, if you just hold off this reaction, hold off these thoughts, and hold off these emotions, it will dissipate, and then your mind will think, it's finished, it's done. And the more you do that, just watch it. Be an outsider watching in, is what I'm seeing your subconscious mind saying. Be an outsider watching in. Watch these things happen from the outside, saying, okay, yeah, I'll just watch it happen. Okay, when you're done, let me know. And stay in your place. Your mind watching you, not reacting to this surge of emotions, will start to give it less and less and less weight, until this thought that it is so in control starts to dissipate. The idea from your subconscious starts to fly off, starts to dissipate, and your mind will no longer rely on the fact that this figure or this type of person or these type of people or that type of situation is able to in any way, shape or form take control of you any longer. Because now you've diminished the meaning it has by not reacting to it. Taking yourself out and watching from the outside. Oh, look, how does it feel like? Oh, so what am I feeling here? Ooh, surge of emotion. So much plumes. What is that? Ooh, I feel like I'm starting to get angry. I feel this. I feel that. Watching it from the outside. Take notes. Oh, when this happens, I start to feel that, and I start to feel this, and this happens, without moving. Let it take its ride. It's up and down. Everything that goes up must go down. Let it take its roll. Let it happen. Watch it and let it go. Let it pass. And so here again, in this pile, we're seeing the idea that it's in your hands. You can control this. The more and more that your subconscious mind sees that this trigger is unreliable, it's not doing anything, the more and more it's going to diminish its weight, and it will no longer happen to you. And this is how you heal with the star card, my dear pile number 2. That it's all in your hands, and it's your subconscious mind is literally telling you, take charge of this. Take charge of these plumes. Just let it roll. Stand there watching it going, oh, really? So that's how it works. Yeah, even the Hierophant is laughing here. Yeah, fine. Do your thing. Good for you. Until it calms down. Watching it from another perspective really takes you out of this situation, makes you look at it from a different point of view. Wow. And with the sweetness here and love, I really see that your subconscious mind is telling you that you're really going to love the results. Because just as it plumes so quickly, you are able to heal this very quickly. Just like that. Yeah, see? We see plumes and plumes of fire. And they're really unreliable. They're not real. And I really do see that you'll be so proud of yourself very soon. You'll be smiling at how you have overcome something that may have felt intense, just like the sublimation, so quickly, bringing back your internal balance, my dear pile number 2. And this is exactly what I see in your reading, what your subconscious wants to deliver to you. I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please, don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pile number 2. This book is small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate or waste time reading it. But you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And by the way, there's also a productivity cookbook that we've just released. If you would like to check it out, it helps you cook healthy, delicious meals in minutes. And giving you time to enjoy the rest of your day doing whatever is important to you where you need your productivity. And my dear pile number 2, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you. I have enjoyed it immensely. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the Androgyne as well as the blue agate. Let's see how this fits into your reading. And as you know, we're taking a look at what your subconscious wants to let you know about today. What message does it have for you today? So you have the art of seduction. And you have success. So nice. Oh, okay. You also have, I knew it when I saw that. So you have on one side confident, and on the other side we have uncertain. Okay, so all the yellows here. Interesting. Right, let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Princess of Pentacles, which is the Page of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Wands. You have, I've put them the other way. The Eight of Swords. The Knight of Swords. You also have, this is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the light side of the card. This is what it looks like. And this is the shadow side of the card. And this is what it looks like. We'll keep both into consideration as we take a look at your reading. You also have the Sun card. This is the light side. And this is the shadow side. You might see some of the cards covered because of the new YouTube rules of nudity. So sorry guys. Also these are the before tarot. So these are the scenes moments before the regular Rider-Waite-Smith. So this is again the Devil card, moments before, right? And this is the Tower card, moments before. Interesting. So let's see what your subconscious mind wants to say to you in today's reading. You know, straight away I'm noticing the trigger here with the Tower is right next to the Devil, right? The Devil also means, you know, seductive promises that are illusionary, that aren't true. You know how the devil gives these promises that are seductive to bind, to try to bind, but no one is really bound. It's an illusion, and we can always bring ourselves out of it if we want. But anyways, we see the idea of the illusion, binding two people with an illusion. And we have the art of seduction here. So we're seeing the idea trigger because of seduction. Now, this leads me to the ego, healthy ego and unhealthy ego, and confidence and uncertain. I get what this is talking about. Here we see that there is a trigger that hits the ego. Perhaps out of some fear. It perhaps has to do with work rather than being triggered by how people view you in general. It's more towards how people view your work, your thoughts or your work. Yeah, because this is where I see there is a hit with the uncertainty. I see your subconscious mind talking to you today about being worried, especially with work, with the Eight of Pentacles. You are maybe sometimes afraid of being judged with your work, with what you present. And that really hurts your ego. And you go quickly from being very confident to feeling uncertain, not knowing what to do. And this happens all quickly with the Tower card here. See, it doesn't break you. The Tower is standing there strong. You are a confident person in general. But there is an area that you feel triggered in very quickly, where you're afraid. You start feeling afraid. I think it's really in the area of your work, what you're presenting. Your subconscious mind shows us that you're very, very comfortable. It's in a certain situation. Yes, now I'm sure. It's only in a certain situation, and it looks like your work. Now, the Eight of Swords shows us that you don't know what happens all of a sudden in this situation. You suddenly get struck and hurt. We see an inner child feeling afraid and hurt. Now, seeing these two cards both coming out with labels, this would tell me that you're afraid of certain labels that are hidden in your subconscious about Knight of Swords. You know, Knight of Swords is someone quick to action. This could have been a teacher that was quick to label you, didn't have the patience to explain things properly, perhaps, and rather than doing their job, which they didn't know they were doing, perhaps even, they put the label on you. That's what I see here. And so it comes from young energy, even if it was an elder person. You know, young pages, they act without thinking. They don't have the full experience to do something. And knights, they charge without thinking. They have one goal, they charge towards it, and that's it. Causing harm sometimes with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So here we see someone in your past was perhaps very quick to act. And so now, being so afraid of quick, either ridicule, quick judgment, harsh criticism, anything like that, there is this idea to appease. And this takes away from your creativity and what you're capable of doing. Here with the success, this shows that you can achieve so much. In fact, with the Queen of Wands is super creative, super powerful. The Wands are all about work, so you can imagine the Queen of Wands is someone who is very much in control of their work and knows what she's doing and is very successful. So here, this shows that you're more than capable of doing, amazing things, but it is these voices that keeps you limited, although there's so much that you can do. With success, your subconscious mind is confirming that you can do so much more. You can create humongous success. There's like with the Sun card, the Queen of Wands, we see that there is creativity that needs to burst out and come to life and be free and breathe. But it's being tied down at the moment. It's being tied down by triggers coming from labels. And this takes us to your main card, which is mind-blowing. You were drawn to the androgyne. As you know, when something is androgynous, it's like an infinite spectrum, right? It's like non-binary form. This shows me that you are someone free of label. Nobody can put a label on you. You know, when we say someone, for example, when we say someone is androgynous, non-binary, we cannot put a label on them, right? So it's the same thing here. Funny, isn't it? Your subconscious mind is telling you that these are labels. Nobody can put a label on you. It is not true. And to not believe these labels that other people who with the night were quick to say things but aren't mature enough to know the right from the wrong all the time. We're quick to put judgment when in fact you are more than capable of doing amazing. With the art of seduction, you can create things that are mind-blowing. You yourself, my dear pile number 3, are going to surprise yourself. It's going to be mind-blowing to you. One day when you allow that energy to flow through you, you'll be surprised at what you're capable of. But it doesn't go through. It's always spoiled very quickly by thoughts of, it's not going to come right. People are going to think it's bad. They're not going to like what I do. If you take these labels out, 4 or 5 minutes, just let yourself flow. You'll surprise yourself with what you can do. Your subconscious mind is really telling you that these labels are not true. Don't let anyone throw labels that really aren't true, because the fact of the matter is your brain knows what you're capable of, right? And it's saying that you're full of success, full of creative energy that can create powerful big things that you're capable of achieving if you remove the label. Only if you remove the label. Just let it be. When you're working and doing something, when you catch yourself judging yourself, that's a trigger. They're not going to like it. That's not going to be good. That's probably stupid. That's probably this. Don't listen to it. That's when you know you've identified, or rather your subconscious mind has identified the trigger to you now. And you can take it from there, because we see a spider that has not built its spider web yet. You can create that web that will hold you from doing something amazing, or you can stop it right there. Take charge and start giving yourself the opportunity to let that creative energy flow out and see what amazing work it can bring out. And in fact, with the Page of Pentacles, the advice is steady but surely. You know, the saying, slow but steady wins the race. Take it slow. Don't expect perfection at the very beginning. Don't expect marvelous things to just come out. Be patient. Just think. Give yourself time to think, to let it simmer. Ideas don't just pop out right the second you hold your pen or you hold your computer or whatever it is that you're doing. Let it simmer. Let it take its time, because it's always one idea that leads to the next, and then leads to something. You're like, no, that's not a good idea. Then let's take that direction. It takes time. Allow that energy to flow through you without voices that go, okay, see, it's not working. Oh, see, that's not going to work. Oh, it's not working. But rather to quiet down these voices so that the process, the alchemical process of your creative energy has the time to build and flow through you. You'll be exploding with new ideas and amazing things to create. And once it flows, it doesn't stop. So let it flow without worry. And you'll see that by time, you'll start tapping into your power and you'll start creating amazing things. And you'll very soon heal your ego into a healthy ego, that is proud of you, that is encouraging you, that is explosive with the Sun card of creativity and great work to put in. Always remember, my dear pile number 3, with the Page of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. Take it slow by slow, bit by bit. Give yourself permission to take time to do it and see what the end result is going to be and how you can make it grow. And then when it's done, see where you got and what you did. And even then, my dear pile number 3, with that type of energy, go back and retrospect, or go back and look. Oh, this didn't come out right. How about I do it like that and improve it? Next time I can do this and that. How about I learn more about this part? And how about I watch a video that explains how to do that part? And how about I change that part that's making it look bad and put something else like this and that? Allow this creativity to flow through you without any labels. That's the key that your subconscious mind is showing to us today. The more you do things with zero labels, the more you'll be able to finally heal that part and let it flow out. Let it allow you to bring that creative energy into life with no longer feeling these triggers, because it's really not fair. It's not coming from a place where you can't. That's so unfair. It's coming from sounds of people that didn't know anything about you. Nothing. It's them against your own brain that's saying something completely different. Your subconscious brain that knows exactly what's in there. So maybe you want to heed the call to what it's trying to tell you today and allow that beautiful, magical energy to flow through you and see what the tips of your fingers are going to create. And my dear pile number 3, that was your reading. This is exactly what I see your subconscious mind wants to relate to you today. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Also, if you enjoy Zodiac Tarot readings, make sure you check out my other channel. It's the first link in the description box. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book, my dear pile number 3. This book could really help you out in your journey. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate reading it in the first place, but you'll find that it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find the link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And my dear pile number 3, the Productivity Cookbook has been released. This cookbook will help you cook healthy and delicious meals right away in minutes, giving you time to enjoy the rest of the day doing the things that are important to you. It's full of recipes, 210 recipes that are delicious, packed with different types of meals so that you can enjoy your life doing what's important to you. And my dear pile number 3, that was your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.